Good man.
Bitches.
Good man. Bitches.
Hey, what's up?
we gotta do it and not laugh.
Okay, all right.
Ow.
You ready? Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? It's your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode. Oh my gosh, I'm winded. I'm doing squats.
Yeah, right.
Raiders, yeah, let's do that again.
Okay.
I stood up too fast. I got lightheaded.
Did you?
I'm like, ooh. Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? It's your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of the Raiders Fan Radio Rundown. Raiders Fan Radio Rundown is kind of what we do in the off week, Jeff.
Yeah, when we're not live, we still want to come at you. We still want to talk with you and all that good stuff. And we'll join you in the chat room and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, we got stuff to talk about, you know?
Stuff to talk about. There's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on, man.
It was, we got Al Davis, a football life going on over our back shoulder because two great nations, Jeff, were born on July 4th. And so first off, at the top of the show here, we like to give a little bit of respect. And let's respect the great one, the Maverick, Al Davis, who was born on the 4th of July. And so, of course, our nation's, the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America, was born on the 4th of July. And so was Al Davis, giving birth to the great Raider Nation, which is the greatest fan base in the entire and organization.
The only sports nation.
The only sports nation.
You know?
Absolutely. So, anyways, happy birthday to Al. Rest in peace. There was another one. Yesterday was 63 days to the start of the NFL season. So today's 62. So I put up a picture of Gene Upshaw. And I was,
there you go.
Rest in peace, Highway 63, Uptown Gene. 62 days away. 2 months away, Swaggo.
My gosh, man. Yeah, we're here. We're here. I mean, the offiest of the offseason is not going to be offy anymore.
That's all right. Absolutely.
You know?
So I guess we should probably start off the show by thanking you for joining us.
Yes.
This is the Raiders Fan Radio Rundown. If you're new to the program, my name is Murf.
Hi, Murf.
Hi. Do you remember the show Romper Room?
The what?
You were too young to remember that. There was a TV show called Romper Room that used to come on. It was around like Sesame Street time.
Okay.
And the lady, I think her name was like Miss Julie or Miss Leslie or something like that.
Okay.
She had this magnifying glass and she would hold it up to the camera and she would go, I see Mikey and I see Tina and I see Tommy and I see Carl. And she would and you would wait for your name. So like if she was ever and I see Josh, I'd be like, ooh, like this, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So anyways.
So what are we going to be like? I see Paul and I see Ron and I see Ebony and I see Michelle.
There you go.
Hi, boys and girls.
Hi, welcome to Raiders Fan Radio Rundown. I'm Murf, if you're new to the show, and this is my best friend and yours.
Swag Jeff.
Hey, what?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah,
hey, man, we got a foundation.
We got a foundation.
Yeah. So let's talk about that here at the top as well. And we're talking about respect. So we started the One Nation Foundation a few years ago. If this is your first time tuning in, so all the money that we make, super chats on the YouTube, any of our sponsorship dollars, it all goes to the One Nation Foundation. So we're going to be presenting a check to the Blitnikoff Foundation in November, hopefully for $15,000 this year. We're
close.
It's gonna be close. We still got a couple.
We'll beat 10.
Oh,
last year was 10.
We'll hit 10 very soon. So
our goal's 15. Maybe it's 12, and we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. We're running a little lean compared to where we wanted to be. But that said, running lean compared to where we wanted to be is still going to be better.
Still leaps and bounds to what we were last year.
Still an improvement and a continued improvement. And so
100%.
It's kind of like when you set your budget. You want to make X amount of money through the course of the year.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't make that 9% increase. But if you make a 5% increase, you're still making money and you do better than last year.
That's it. You got it, man. And we still got some giveaways we're going to be doing in the Summer of Swag. We've still got a Devontae Adams jersey that we're going to be doing probably next live show.
Yeah.
We'll do that, and then
back in the dining room. We're in the kitchen today.
There you go. And then we're just giving you a tour around the Murf house there.
Yeah. So if you want to buy it, let me know.
There you go. Yeah. We're almost like realtors. In a sense, we're just giving you tours of the house. Next week, join us in the master bathroom for for the live show. So yeah. But anyway, so we I thought my phone's ringing.
Oh, do you need to get that?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. But yeah. So anyway, so we do have a couple of giveaways. We're gonna do Devontae next week. Here at the very end of the month too, we've got to sign Bo Jackson, which is that's our big ticket item kind of for the year, which we're expecting. You know, we're not expecting anything, but like that one has the potential to be a massive.
We think
night
that
for
could
the
be a good
foundation.
one. That could be a good one.
So yeah, so we'll be coming at you with that as well. But yeah, man, hey, let's talk about the Raiders a little bit.
Talk about the Raiders a little bit, and I got one more housekeeping note for you too.
Yes. Okay.
So when we got a couple live shows coming up. We got one. We're just going to be back in the dining room. Then we've got a live show we're going to do on the road at the Red Phone booth, downtown Nashville.
Yes.
So we're going to look forward to that. You're also going to see a ton of stuff coming from us in mid-August as we go out to Vegas to join the Raider Dad folks for the tailgate at their event that you guys sponsored. Thank you very much, speaking of the foundation. And so we're going to be out there for that. So you expect to see that from us. But all that said, being that we've got these things, road trips and all this stuff kind of planned, we got to postpone the fannies.
Yeah, I think so.
We got to postpone the fannies, and I know a lot of our listeners, that's your favorite show that we do every year. For those of you that don't know, that's our annual award show where we award kind of like some silly awards to not only sometimes maybe ourselves, a lot of times to our listeners. We like to highlight, what you guys have done with our show throughout the course of the year. Give some to the Raiders themselves. Like, it's just a really funny, goofy, fun time. We all get dressed up in our Raider best and. But anyways, I think we got to postpone it this year. We were hoping to be in the new fan cave to kind of kick off the new fan cave with the fannies, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. So we'll either revisit the fannies later on, maybe do it on like a bye week or something like that.
Sure.
We'll do it later on the season, or we'll just, maybe unfortunately, we don't do one this year, which sucks because it's like our favorite show.
It's our favorite show as well. Yeah. So yeah.
But there's a lot that goes into planning for the fannies, and you can't do it in a damn kitchen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. So anyway.
All right. So anyways, let's talk about the Raiders.
Let's do that.
We don't have an ad this week, do we? No Caesars or nothing.
I don't think so.
Okay. If you want to sponsor Raiders Fan Radio and the One Nation Foundation, let us know.
Yeah, this is where it would go.
This is where we go, right here, Jack Daniels.
Oh, hey. We got some stuff cooking, maybe.
Some stuff. We got some stuff. Hey.
Hey. Oh my gosh.
So it's been probably, 10 minutes, and there's people screaming at their YouTube going,
oh, yeah.
You're going to talk about the Raiders.
Yep. Right now.
Right now, we're going to talk about the Raiders. So there's not a ton of news going on. There is the daily Josh Jacobs discussion that's going on. I guess we can kind of go ahead and kick it off from there.
Yeah.
Why don't you give them a little bit of an update of what we found today when we dug into the picture gate when it came to the Raiders and their social media.
Well, yeah.
Tell them what's been going on.
There's some people in Raider Nation that will look for a story and look for the negativity in literally anywhere that you look. And Twitter can be a negative place.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah. Twitter can be. It has its moments, but it could be kind of a negative place. So there's so that's where all the sad sacks hang out. And that's fine.
A lot of sad sackery going on.
There's a lot of sad sackery going on. But so this week, the Raiders released pictures of their different skill position rooms. So, of course, we saw the one last week of, Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiden O'Connell.
And that zombie Brian Hoyer.
And Brian Hoyer that looks like he'd been through it, bro. Been through it. And then,
That dude's on the back end of a Vegas trip right there.
No kidding. But then you saw Devontae and Renfro and Jacoby Myers on one. And you see the tight end room with Horsted and Michael Mayer and Austin Hooper and all this stuff. You see these pictures, and then it's just like little, real up close pictures of all these guys.
Looking.
They're kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But so they released the running back one. And the running back room, they said, the running back room that's different and special, they said, was Zeus White and Brandon Bolden and Amir Abdullah. Mm-hmm. Right. So, of course, everyone goes, oh my gosh, where's Josh Jacobs? Oh my gosh, the disrespect is real, Murph. The disrespect is so real. I cannot believe that the Raiders would release this photo and not have Josh Jacobs in it. Well, I hate to break it to you, and this might just be the business answer, but that's what this is. It's a business. And Josh Jacobs is not on the team right now.
Yep.
The end, right?
That's it.
I mean,
it's not any more complicated than that, and it even could come down to the idea that, and I don't know what the legalities are of using likeness rights and all that kind of stuff, But when a guy is not technically on your football team, can you publish pictures of him and like as advertised? I don't know. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. But the point being though, Raider Nation, is that there's other reasons that aren't personal. This is the stuff that, and you've heard me, if you listen to this show at all, you've heard me rant about taking things personal in business. As the great Bob Sugar said, it's not show friends, it's show business. It has nothing to do with disrespect. It has nothing to do with having an agenda. The only agenda that the Raiders have is winning freaking football games and to put their best foot forward to attain that. And right now, they're working through a contract with one of our star players. The end. That's all it is.
That's it.
There's ain't nobody got feelings in this thing except for maybe Josh Jacobs. And I would encourage that young man to quit it. Like, we kind of already rehashed some of this stuff, especially on the last live show, but we heard Kevin Byard's comments, and you hear a lot of comments from a lot of players that kind of get it. Yeah. But it's not a personal affront. This isn't disrespect. So as fans, so I'll put it this way, being that we're moving on from stuff we already kind of said last week, as fans, we got to make sure that we're not interpreting it like that. And when you see somebody hauling off on social media, don't let that thought infest your brain, because it's not close to accurate.
No.
It's very far from the truth of what the actuality is. And the actuality is that they're working through a contract negotiation, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And he'll either be a Raider or he won't. And if he's not, he's sacrificing some of the most lucrative time in his career. If you pass up on a $10 million payroll, guess what? You got to earn that much more in the future to make up for what you left on the table.
Yeah.
He's not going to stay at the house, guys.
No.
He'll be in training camp. He'll sign his goddamn tender and play off $10 million, and he'll be a Raider. And then next year, they'll figure the rest of it out.
There you go.
If he walks, then he walks. You know what I mean? Because I don't think, I know you can franchise a player twice.
I don't think the Raiders are gonna franchise tag him.
I don't think
twice.
it, because franchising him a second time, it'll be like $14 million or something probably.
Next year is going to be a lot more.
Because it goes up. When you franchise someone a second time, it goes up. So anyways.
Right. Yeah.
Josh is going to be around. It's all going to be fine. This is literally the kind of stuff that we go through in the offseason, because there's nothing else to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
To review, but it's all over social media
right now. Well, and I would tag even to what you said as well. If you're one of those guys that are, retweeting some of this stuff and tagging Josh going, oh my gosh, Josh, I'm so sorry that you've been disrespected. Stop with that as well. You fan how you want to fan, but take it from someone that's in the younger generation.
You just call me old, you hear that?
Well, the younger generation can get in their damn feels. And if someone says, Josh Jacobs, you're being disrespected, Josh might go, you know what? You're right, I am being disrespected. What the hell? Stop tagging him. Stop telling him that.
Yeah.
Get him to understand the business side of it. You know what I mean? So.
That's true. That's a good point, man. Let your feedback be one of encouragement for both.
Yes.
Instead of trying to find a villain and disparage one or the other.
That's it.
Because I think that's another thing that is unfortunate, that and social media does this on so many different things. It's not even just football. But it's it becomes such a polarized conversation.
Sure.
Where it's you're either this. If you're not with us, you're against us, kind of a thing. And it's it doesn't have to be like that. Sometimes two things can be good and you just have to pick between them, or sometimes both things can suck. And unfortunately, in this negotiation with our star player, it sucks for both of them. The Raiders are in a pickle because they can't afford to put together a competitive roster while overpaying for a running back. Josh Jacobs is in an unfortunate position because of the way the CBA is structured and the way that the running back position is treated in the NFL. Neither one of those things are good. Neither one of those parties were responsible for the current setup. Josh Jacobs didn't do anything wrong. Well, the Raiders didn't either. So let's quit trying to find who's good and who's bad.
The bad guy,
who's disrespected or who's not. It doesn't exist. Neither one of those parties are liable for the situation that they're in. So why in the hell would you want to find blame? Quit. There's no blame.
Yeah.
So just be encouraging to both.
We love the Raiders and we love Josh Jacobs.
Amen.
When we're all looking to do the same thing, to root for this football team and to be successful with this football team. So let's all be together on that. And then I'll also tag one more thing if we're berating people that are on Twitter.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead.
And by the way, and I want to reiterate what Jeff said too. You fan how you want to fan. This isn't us telling you should think like this or you should think like that. Ain't nobody telling you to do that.
This is just how we think.
This is how I approach this stuff. Is in order to not be driven crazy by this football team that can frankly drive us crazy.
Sure.
Is I would encourage you to consider that there aren't an evil entity out there that's working against one or the other, regardless of what side your brain may come on. Sometimes we can look at it the gray area.
Sure. And I'll tag one thing, and we talked about it, I think, a little bit last week, and we've talked about it over the course of the offseason. Davante Adams is not going anywhere. Stop this notion of I saw just today, about 20 minutes before we got on this rundown. Someone from Saints fandom or whatever, a Saints content creator, because they're not a show producer. But anyway, so we saw this guy and he posts this scenario and goes, "What's it going to take for Davante Adams to get to become a Saint?" He wants to go. He wants to play with Derek Carr once again, and this scenario was Davante Adams to the Saints for the Saints' first and third round pick of next year or whatever. Get out of here with that. That is just not going to happen. The end. Stop talking about it, and you fan how you want to fan. But this one, I am kind of telling you, stop that shit. Stop it, because it just is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen.
Stop it.
Yeah, Davante's not going anywhere.
No.
And so And I think it was Scott and Mo were kind of talking about, Scott and Mo from Silver and Black Today, and shout those guys out, and we're going to talk about Mo here in a second in particular, because Scott refuses to come on our show. So we won't.
Yeah, we hate that about him.
What was I going to say? Oh, but they were talking about this notion that like Davante, he's bought in. He's bought in for the Raiders for this year. Now, what does that look like next year if the Raiders have a turd of a season? I think there's a fair conversation to be had because now we're approaching the end, or at least the back
latter portion of his career
contract and his contract. So I mean, I kind of get that idea, and that made a lot more sense to me. But like for this year, stop. He ain't going anywhere. All right. So speaking of Mo Moton, I want to shout out Mo and give him some respect for a great article that he has this week. This is on Sports Not. Follow Mo. If you don't follow Mo, you're doing it wrong. He's become a good friend of ours around here at Raiders Fan Radio, and we appreciate his produced content, his show, and also his articles that he writes. And the big talk around Raider fandom, of course, has been this Josh Jacobs thing. But this is what Mo had to say this week. At this point in the offseason, you're probably tired of the same storylines. Is Josh going to hold out? What's next for Hunter Renfrow? Will Jimmy Garoppolo be ready for training camp? So let's dig instead deeper into the roster for discussions that need more attention before the team reconvenes for summer practices. So I'm not going to read you the whole thing. Go to Sportsnot and seek it out there, and go check it out. The way you can support Mo and his writing. But he's got some great ones in here. Talks about Nate Hobbs, like where. Is he going to return to that nickel? Are we going to see?
I think he's come out and said he wants to.
Did he come out and say that?
He came out and said he prefers the inside.
Okay.
So him and Tyler Hall are kind of going to be fighting for that spot. And, but so then you look at, and I can't remember if he said it in the article or not, but I think and I'm telling you, I think Marcus Peters is still going to be here.
I
think he's coming, and he's going to be one of those guys we hear, we're not name dropping, but, talking with Will Compton, those folks that are in that stage of their career and playing, they're not going for training camp. They'll show up the day after it's over and go, okay, where do I sign?
They're plug and play guys.
They're already doing their routines. They're practicing at home, all that kind of stuff. They're going to show up day one and be ready to go. They don't need training camp.
Absolutely. And so then you're looking at Marcus Peters and likely Jacorian Bennett on the outside. I like that with Tyler Hall and and Nate Hobbs working inside. Like that's pretty strong, man. That's pretty strong. We just got to figure out a way to cover freaking stupid Travis Kelce. That's the only one, because I think Meek's too little to do it, to bring him in.
Yeah.
But if you could I don't know if you put Nate on there or put Nate on Travis. He might be too big to. He might get bodied by.
Might be too
Kelce.
big. I think.
And I don't know what kind of linebackers. We'd have to depend on Mickey Spillane to freaking.
Well, and Spillane's not a good cover guy.
He's not a good cover.
He's not a good cover guy. He's gonna be. You're gonna see Spillane a lot more in your first and second down. Run. Primary run plays and stuff like that. We're gonna see him mixing it up in the backfield, and then that third down, you're gonna see a lot more. Obviously, you're gonna see a lot of Divine Diablo all year long.
I guess Divine's probably the guy, right? Because now he's got that big enough body that he can freaking go toes with Kelce.
Yeah, but and Mo says in the article as well. He talks about what Bernie The guy we got out of Florida, is it Bernie?
Oh, Amari Bernie. Yeah.
That we got out of Florida late in the draft this year. That guy, like his like highlight reels were all about like the like crazy interceptions that he had. So I think he's a lot more of a cover guy. So I mean, you could even see a combo of Diablo and Bernie both on a guy like Kelsey. I mean, in passing situations.
That's what, and that's what he goes on to say here. Is he said Amari Bernie could be that guy, while Divine Diablo obviously is going to have the green dot. That it's going to be Amari Bernie because and then he also says right there. Sure, the front office signed Robert Spillane, but he allowed a woeful 109.2 passer rating in coverage last year.
That's bad.
That's not good.
That's
not good. So he's
not to say that that's his MO, but I mean the track record is not great.
Track record, and it's okay. And look, and this is the way I look at it. Like, you don't. Not every player is going to be great at everything, but you want them to be great at something.
Sure.
And if his strength is playing the run and playing up close to the line of scrimmage and even zipping in on sacks and stuff that we've seen, then that's great. Then let him do that. You know what I mean? Then let him do that. We'll have another guy come in and play.
There you go.
And that really, and he rounds it out. He talks about Greg Van Roten in here. Also talks about DeAndre Carter.
Who they say Rotten. They said he could steal the Alex Barr spot.
So it's a great article in there. So go support Mo. Go check out what he's got going on over there at Sportsnot. But I think that article highlighted to me one thing that I think is something that we as fans have been guilty of this year, and that is thinking that the Raiders have not done enough in the offseason, that we haven't done enough to address defensive tackle, that we haven't done enough to address linebacker, that we haven't done enough to address the secondary or whatever. But when you look at the amount of players that the Raiders have acquired via the draft and free agency this offseason, we've done a lot. Now, they didn't acquire a bunch of household names. They acquired a bunch of young players. But if these are young players that fit into the different systems, whether that be offensive or defensive, and these coaches are getting a first-hand look at these guys, until they give us a reason to not, I'm going to trust that they've already done what they needed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every year you watch in the NFL, players come out of nowhere. Great players can come out of nowhere. Maybe that's what we're on the verge of. Instead of us looking at this as like, well, they didn't do anything. Well, they did a lot. They just didn't sign high-profile names. So I'm kind of with this idea that like I really, as I read articles like this from Mo and just do our own talking around things and, uncover guys like, what's our guy's name? Our linebacker, Drake.
Drake Thomas?
Drake Thomas.
Yeah.
You uncover and you kind of like dig in a little bit on what these guys are. Like, I'm starting to get some confidence, man. Now listen, I do this every year.
Sure. But why would you? But why would you not? Well, and that's the thing is like we always say, find something to like latch onto and be positive about. And and you look at a guy like because we talked about a lot of people were upset that we didn't address linebacker enough and stuff like that. But remember too that I think we're getting a new linebacker in Divine Diablo this year. That's yes, he was on the roster in the last couple years, but like this guy, I think his game is just going to look way different this year. He's added a bunch of weight. He's got all these responsibilities. Now he's kind of a locker room vet, and he's pointing the young guys in the right direction when McDaniel said in years past that he wasn't doing that. So I think we're going to see a whole different look. And then you look at even in the secondary, like what you just said, our cornerback room kind of looks like it may be shaping up a little bit. And then let's not forget that we also got Marcus Epps back there, and I'm really excited about him. He was kind of a guy that everyone was like, oh, that's the free agent safety we picked. But that guy was in the midst of an amazing defensive core in Philadelphia. And so, he might have even gotten overlooked in Philly. And so he got maybe a more team-friendly deal that the Raiders got him on. But this guy could ball out for us. And I'm kind of halfway expecting him to.
Absolutely. And then we got Merrick coming back. Look, Merrick had a little bit of a sophomore slump, but
sure he did.
He was still, he's still got the potential to be a great player. Chris Smith comes in with the potential to be a playmaker. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we've done a lot. I don't think that it's recognized how much the Raiders have actually done just because it's not a trade for Patrick Queen or what, you know what I mean? It's not a big move, So, and by the way, we've got soon to be defensive player of the year on this football team.
Let's not forget.
I'm telling you, man, Max, talk about breakouts. if we get any kind of decent coverage on the back end, freaking Max and Tyree and Chandler, they're gonna eat, dude. Those guys, I'm telling you, man, I'm so stoked for what our pass rush is gonna look like this year. I think that people are sleeping on how good our pass rush is gonna be. Max, talk about guys that have like developed their bodies and put themselves in different, just like what Divine Diablo. Max Crosby doesn't look like the same guy anymore. I mean, he's like doing all this MMA stuff and all that, like. So he's got like he's like increasing his agility and his strength and his, his motor. Like that's, he doesn't get tired. Yeah. This dude is going to be just as good in the fourth quarter on third down than he is on first down in the
snap
first
of the
quarter.
game. Yep.
I'm telling you, man. So like, I think Max. I mean, our breakout player on defense this year is Divine Diablo. It's kind of all we all kind of collectively picked. If it's possible, Max Crosby has a breakout because he becomes
even more of a breakout than he's already done in his career.
I'm telling you, the guy has the potential to be Defensive Player of the Year.
I think so.
He's going to be that freaking good, man.
I think so too.
I think he's going to blow the Bosa's out of the water. He's going to blow anybody else he's ever been compared to. Blow him away, dude.
Yep.
I think
TJ Watt, all those kind of guys. Yeah, no, he's going to be that dude this year for sure.
I think so.
And he's got a better cast around him. We've always said, Chandler was very helpful to Max last year. Yes, Chandler sucked up blocks, but now now you add Tyree Wilson into that mix, and you got Tillery coming back for another year. You got the pair of butlers that we got in, Matthew and what's the other butler's name?
Is it Andre? No. Oh shoot! Is it in the article?
It's on the last page, I think. No.
Not somewhere.
Whatever. We got all the butlers, and so like that room is like deep. It's really deep. So I really think that like you said, Max is going to have a lot more support this year, and he's going to see a lot more one-on-ones. So so I think so.
What is that guy's name? We got to find that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Well, I can't look it up because I don't have my phone because we're using my phone.
That's okay.
Can you look it up?
Sure. I don't want to. Will you say something?
I don't want to quit the show, and then So while Jeff's looking that up, I'm gonna give you one tag to the Josh Jacobs thing. Kind of going back to that for a second, and then we've got one email we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to Paul's email. Actually, before I do that,
Adam Butler.
Adam Butler. Thank you. Okay, I knew there was an A in it. All right. So thank you, chat room. Thank you guys for hanging in here with us, and let us know your thoughts in the chat room. Let us know in the YouTube comments. We want to know what your take is, Raider Nation, because this show is at its best when it's conversational and we're not here to just espouse our opinion in the spirit of we're right. I don't know. We could be full of shit. I don't know. So you guys tell us.
More than likely we are.
That's mostly
That's been proven true most times.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a reason my title is Blowhard on the show. You know
there
what I
you
mean?
go.
Anyways, going back real quick to this, and then let's get into Paul's email. If you read the article, so the Raiders post on their social media, interestingly enough, it was only on Facebook. It wasn't on the Twitter one, okay? But interestingly enough, they posted on the Facebook the article to the running backs that
accompanied that photo, right?
That accompanied that photo. Well, if you actually take the time to read it and go past the picture and click on it, this is from the Raiders themselves. It says the Raiders' run attack was potent last season, and hints at the reasoning behind the entire unit returning this year. The entire unit returning this year. That's in the first sentence. The second sentence says the success of the running game can be described in two words. Josh Jacobs. He's been a Pro Bowl caliber player for the Raiders since being drafted out of Alabama, and then goes on to list all of his bona fides and accomplishments in the silver and black. That's how the freaking article reads. So there's not a conspiracy.
There's no disrespect.
The Raiders literally respect him the first words out of their mouth.
Yep.
So I think we should move on way past that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, let's do something fun.
Absolutely, let's do that. So
how do people email us, Jeff?
Oh, you can email us. I was going to say a multitude of ways. No, you can only do that one way. That is show.
Well, you could, but only one of them's going to get to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Show at RaidersFanRadio.com. That is show. That is SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com. So you can do that. You can also call us, 909-345-3346. That's
909-345-3346.
You can do that. We don't have any email or any voicemails tonight, but we do have one from Paul.
We got an email from Paul.
We got an email from Paul, and it's
Love
fun.
our emails from Paul.
And you know what? And respect to Paul, because like if he could step up anymore in his emails. Like, his emails have been really good, and like the offiest of the off-season Paul thing, it's got us like talking a lot.
Fun.
It's really fun.
Really
So and we got another one coming at you today. So evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. The off-season is still hanging around, and there's still not a lot happening. I'd love to give you my opinion on Derek Carr's latest move into the love me, none of it was my fault market, but his friends and family are sensitive, and I wouldn't want to make anybody cry. And they can't handle constructive debate anyway, so I'll just leave it alone. The Josh Jacobs deal or no deal decision is yet to be made, but we haven't got too long for that deadline to happen. So with that being said, I've got more of this or that questions for you.
Cool.
To pass around, to pass some of the time. So he's put his answers down. He goes, okay.
Good. We're glad to hear your answers.
Yes,
Let us know in
yes.
the chat room what yours are, or the YouTube comments.
Absolutely. So first category, which was worse?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay.
The number 1 overall draft pick, Jamarcus Russell.
Well, and we got to clarify the rules here.
Okay.
You have to pick one. You can't go, well, they both sucked, or like, no, I like them both.
Yeah, the category is which was worse. So it's clear that both of them suck. I mean, it wouldn't be like Jamarcus Russell or Super Bowl 18. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how this shit works.
Yeah.
That's not how this shit works. Okay, so which was worse? Jamarcus Russell, number 1 draft pick, or the John Gruden trade to Tampa Bay?
Wow. I'm going to say John Gruden trade to Tampa Bay, because that cost us a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Because if the Raiders play anybody other than a John Gruden coach team, the guy that invented the freaking offense that Bill Callahan didn't make any changes to, that informed their defense exactly what to do against us, that cost us a Super Bowl. Where Jamarcus, this is what people forget a lot, and this isn't me taking a shot at Paul, but I just kind of throwing it out there. People forget a lot that Jamarcus was a consensus number 1 pick. The Raiders were praised for taking Jamarcus Russell number 1 overall. That wasn't a controversial owl type. That wasn't a Darius Hayward Bay. That wasn't even a DJ Hayden. Right. That wasn't one of those moves where you go like, Gary and Conley. Like, There's a lot of guys that got drafted in the first round by the Raiders, and there's a mix or a what? Alex Leatherwood, right? There's a lot of those. Right. Jamarcus was not that. Everybody was. This was the guy that could throw it 60 yards from his knees. This is the guy that was an athletic freak at LSU. Right. SEC quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Paul puts Jamarcus Russell. That was his answer. I'm leaning towards your side too, because I think also, yes, it did cost us a Super Bowl. I think would have run away with it hands down that following year. But you also think if John Gruden hadn't have been traded and our success continued, we win the Super Bowl that next year. We keep going on. We're not in the number 1 draft pick position in the first place anyway in 2006. That isn't going to happen. So our guy would have been someone mid to late round.
That's true,
so
man.
that would have never happened had John Gruden not been traded away.
That's a good point, man. And we might have gotten another one in there.
There you go.
Because that team, you know what I mean?
Was unbelievable.
Was great until Gannon got hurt, really. I mean, it was okay. I mean, at least there was a big drop-off factor. But, yeah, that's interesting. The only reason I would even consider the other one would be that, and this is probably where you're coming from, Paul, is that Jamarcus and Sam Darnold really kind of the reason we have rookie contracts structured the way that they are now is because of the predicament that it put you in when you drafted a quarterback that high and paid him that much money in guaranteed money. If it didn't pan out, you're screwed for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's probably where Paul's coming from, is that while we may have been excited on draft day for Jamarcus,
it cost us a lot of success. Oh
my gosh, it killed us.
Or I mean, you could even go as far to say that he was upset about that because we could have gotten Megatron.
Yeah, but who's going to throw him the ball?
Well,
Andrew Walter. You know what I mean? That's
That's true too. That's true too.
Anyway,
that's true
good
too.
one.
Okay,
Good one,
that was
Paul.
a great one.
Yeah.
Next one: the Tuck Rule game or the Rich Gannon Saragusa injury in 2000.
Gannon Saragusa, because we would have freaking smoked the Giants in the Super Bowl.
I think so too. He has Tuck Rule. Which that one is.
I mean, again, there's not a wrong answer.
Not a wrong answer.
No, Tuck rule, I don't know. I don't know if our defense was good enough to win it all that year. You got to remember, the Patriots were a huge freaking underdog against the Rams. This is the freaking greatest show on turf Rams that we would have gone up against in the Super Bowl, and I wasn't even in an AFC Championship game anyways.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know if we would have had the defensive horsepower to keep up with that greatest show on turf, where when you look at the Kerry Collins-led Giants, our defense would have freaking dominated that game. When you look at Kerry Collins and Trent Dilfer, that's like the worst 2 quarterback performances in the history of the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like Rich Gannon and that offense would have freaking dominated, and we'd have eaten that freaking that offense up, man. So I'm gonna say that one.
Yep. Okay. Bo Jackson's hip injury or Derek Carr's broken leg in 2016?
I'm gonna go Derek Carr.
I'm going, and no disrespect, Paul. We've disagreed on all 3 of your answers because he put Bo, which that's obviously not a wrong answer either. But I'm with you. I think because 2016 we would have. I mean,
Derek was on an MVP track a lot of that season,
and he might have won the MVP had he not gotten hurt.
And and also that same thing kind of situation. That defense, I don't think we were good enough to win the Super Bowl that year. But we could have won a first round, maybe made an AFC championship. Mm-hmm. That team was freaking good, man. Mm-hmm. That was Riverboat Jack and all that stuff. Where those Bo teams, they weren't great. Like I don't think Bo Jackson, even at the time, back then the running back was so much more of a prominent position. Mm-hmm. Even then, it's not enough to carry a football team. We had almost a complete football team in 2016. Sounds like our secondary. You know what I mean? Sean Smith and some of those guys.
Well, and if Derek hadn't gotten hurt, too, we would have won the division because we kind of trickled in and we lost that last game of that season, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we had to go and play Houston in the wild card round.
And if Derek, and really, see, this is where you really want to speculate out. Losing Bo, obviously it ended his career, and that sucked. I don't know how long even his impact would have been should he stayed healthy. Yeah. If Derek doesn't get hurt in 2016, we wouldn't, I don't think, and I don't know, it's just speculation, just my fan opinion, I don't think we see the decline that he went through from then to now.
No, his game changed.
Literally has not been the same player ever since that day.
Yep, truth. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, losing to Jeff Saturday's Colts or losing to the Saints without crossing the 50-yard line for 58 minutes?
Oh, gosh. I guess you got to go with Jeff Saturday, right? You got to go lose. The only game he ever won as a head coach was against us.
Paul doesn't think so. Paul goes Saints too. He's got a case of the ass for the Saints though.
That's true.
Yeah, but no, I would tend to agree with you as well. I mean, the guy comes in, he has a beer with the owner and then goes and coaches the team and freaking beats us. Like, yeah, that's pretty weak.
That sucks.
That sucks pretty hard.
But that Saints one was...
That was maybe the most unbearable game to watch, maybe that I've seen.
It was pretty bad. We don't cross the 50 until Jared Stidham comes in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. It's bad. All right.
That might have been the day. That might have been the game. That or Pittsburgh. That might have been the one where they were like, okay, we're going to do something different.
That Saints game. I mean, that was when at least the juices were flowing into that idea that, maybe it's time. Yeah. Maybe it's run its course.
Was it post-Colts game when he was crying and Derek was crying? It wasn't post-Saints, right? It was post-Colts.
No, it is post-Colts.
It's post-Colts. So either one of those games.
Either one of them, yeah. Wow. Anyway, Khalil Mack trade or Marcus Allen to the Chiefs?
Oh, damn. I'm going to say Khalil.
Okay.
Because Marcus did great things as a Raider, won a championship, one of the greatest runs in Super Bowl history, running with the Knight. He did a lot. As a fan, it really sucked. But we had kind of seen, I know he did more with the Saints, but he played the vast majority of his career with the Raiders.
Sure.
And he didn't go on to win much anything. I think they went to one AFC championship with him in Montana and all that shit. Where Khalil, I think that represented a shift in the Raiders. He was my favorite Raider at the time he was traded. He was awesome. And I think that when his upside, he was already dominant and he had more room to grow and get better. And so what that represented in that the Gruden and Mayock make this move, at the time I supported it because he was due a big giant payday. So they didn't have to pay him all that money, so they could spend their money elsewhere in free agency and acquired all that draft capital to go out and draft players. Well, if they would have done something with that, I wouldn't have it on my list. But they screwed up everybody they signed from LaMarcus Joyner to
Corey Littleton, Vontaze Burfict. You know, the list goes on and on.
The free agents that we acquired were terrible. And then the freaking didn't do anything with the draft picks other than Josh Jacobs. So it's like, I think that Khalil trade was just a freaking
So in comparison to the 2023 Raiders, so that would essentially be like trading away Max Crosby.
Yes, 100%.
At this point, yeah. So and that would be the only reason why I do that.
If Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler would have traded Max Crosby last year, remember when they gave him the new contract extension? Their first thing they did when they got in the building? It was them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe instead of doing that, they trade him away.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, that's what it was when Gruden and Mayock came in.
Yeah, that was our first order of business.
The first thing they did was trade Khalil Mack.
Yeah. All right, and but Paul says Marcus. But that's probably because Marcus whipped our ass for a while when he left.
He did. Oh, he did.
You know, so and I get that too. Okay, so now some players. And this one's going to be tough because these are all Raiders.
Oh, man. Okay.
All right. So first one.
Okay.
This or that.
Okay.
Ray Guy or Shane Leckler?
Oh, jeez. I got to go Ray, just because he was my guy. I had his poster on my wall when I was a kid. I posted a picture today. NFL.com asked for what picture of what moment in Super Bowl history do you think should be hung up in the Louvre, or Louvre, however you pronounce it, the art museum in France. And I put the picture of Ray Guy when Todd Christensen hikes the freaking ball in the Super Bowl over his head.
Yep.
And Ray Guy, former wide receiver, jumps up, 4 feet in the air and freaking snags the ball at its highest point, brings it down and gets the punt off. Incredibly athletic guy. Ray was the first. Leckler was amazing, but Ray was the very first.
Okay.
You know, and the fact that Al Davis drafted a punter with a broken foot in the first round.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's the only one in the Hall of Fame. Like
there you go. Badass. I'm with you on that.
What did Paul say?
Guy. Ray Guy.
Okay, good. All right.
Lester Hayes or Mike Haynes?
Lester, because he was a career Raider. As much as I love Mike Haynes, give me the career guy.
Tim Brown or Devontae Adams?
I gotta go Timmy, man. Yeah, at this point, I mean, you know.
We may not say that when Devontae's career is over. If he wins us a Super Bowl or something like that, then for sure.
Yeah, balls out and see him in the AFC Championship game or something like that. But like as of right now, Timmy's, he's our all-time. He's an all-time guy.
All-timer. Todd Christensen or Raymond Chester?
Oh, shit. That's a tough one. Because you don't have to go Casper and make it easy. You know what I mean? I'm going to go Christensen. Although I really want to go Ray Chester too. But Chester was kind of overshadowed when Casper came in, you know? Even though Ray was still on the team and stuff, Casper became the tight end for the Raiders. So where Christensen was the guy that replaced Casper.
Yeah, they replaced,
and was dominant. And so, give me Christensen.
All right. George Atkinson or Jack Tatum?
Oh, Jack.
Yeah,
Tatum. Jack. And we love George.
We love George.
But call me assassin, man. Let's go.
Exactly. Khalil Mack or Rod Martin?
Oh, Rod Martin.
Yeah, Rod Martin.
3 interceptions in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Rod Martin.
Yeah. All right. I apologize for this last one, says Paul.
Oh, no.
Al Davis or John Madden?
Shit ain't funny, Paul.
Yeah, right? I mean, without Al, there is no John. Without Al, there's no John.
Yeah.
All right, so now
it's like saying you pick God or Jesus.
Well, there you go.
Start at the top.
Yeah. Maybe that wasn't the best.
To Jesus. That doesn't work. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Pardon me, I'll be repenting.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So some non-football stuff, non-Raider stuff. Let's fly through these.
Okay.
Billy Joel live or Stevie Nicks live?
Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Slam dunk.
Let It Be or Hey Jude?
Let It Be.
Yeah, Let It Be. Let It Be. Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall?
Oh, Dark Side.
Yeah.
Dark Side. Yeah, I love Dark Side.
Zeppelin or The Who?
Oh, Zeppelin. Slam dunk Zeppelin for me. That's one of my favorite bands, Paul.
Purple Rain or Thriller?
Ooh, you're going to have a meltdown.
This one's hard. This one's hard.
I'll just say Thriller for me just because that was my jam.
The album itself, man, that's hard.
Thriller was huge because it was a shift. You weren't old enough to remember this. When that Thriller video came out, it was the biggest thing in the world. To have a full-on, like a 10-minute video.
I think you talk about an album in its entirety, you got to go Thriller. Purple Rain, maybe like the song itself, maybe the best song ever.
I was gonna say that's like your favorite song.
It's my favorite song ever, but in its entirety, I think you got to go Thriller. Which Paul disagrees wholeheartedly. He says Prince every day and twice on Sundays.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Enter Sandman or Hell's Bells?
I'm not a big Enter Sandman fan. It was funny because I was wearing my Metallica shirt before we started.
Yeah.
I typically don't like my favorite band's biggest songs. I don't care for Light My Fire. I don't care for Enter Sandman. I don't care for Stairway to Heaven even. It's fine, but my favorite songs are the deeper tracks and whatnot. I don't care for another Brick in the Wall, speaking of Pink Floyd. Give me Brain Damage all day long, every day. Mother, freaking Free 4, like all those songs.
Sure.
So anyways, I'm going to go with Hell's Bells. Plus, that's the bell that the Raiders used to use.
That's true.
I still think we use it at Legion. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
On third down,
All right, De Niro or Pacino?
De Niro, man. Yeah. I love Goodfellas, love Godfather 2.
Pick the Batman, Michael Keaton or George Clooney.
That's funny.
Okay,
I'm going to surprise you with this one.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
George Clooney is way underrated as Batman.
Really?
Yes, and here's why. Follow me on this. You want to get nerdy for a sec, Raider Nation? Okay, here you go. The best Batmen are the best Bruce Waynes. Because in the costume, it's stunt guys and stuff. They all relatively look the same in the Batman suit. How good are you at playing a debonair, spoiled brat millionaire? Well, what is George Clooney?
That he is that.
He is the debonair millionaire. He plays Bruce Wayne. Now, that movie wasn't the best Batman movie, but he is Bruce Wayne. I think he's the best one there was, as far as Bruce Wayne goes.
Really?
Yeah, so therefore I think it's the best Batman. Because where's the acting happen? The acting doesn't happen in the bat suit, other than, where's the trigger, or whatever, the kind of stuff,
right.
You know what I mean? That freaking Christian Bale does or whatever. But when you're in a tuxedo at a party, how good of a Bruce Wayne are you? Clooney was the best.
All right, well, you're wrong.
Nobody will agree with me, but that's okay.
No, that's okay. Yeah, no one. Yeah.
Hey, I'd stand in defiance, just like ketchup on my hot dogs and pineapple on my pizza.
There you go. Yeah. Pryor or Eddie Murphy?
Oh my gosh, Pryor.
I gotta go Eddie.
You gotta go.
But that's a younger guy.
Yeah, but Eddie was Delirious and Raw were right in my wheelhouse. I was a teenager.
Delirious is my favorite stand-up of all time.
Is it?
It's my
like because Pryor and Carlin are my two all-time favorites.
But Pryor walked so Eddie Murphy could run.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah.
Look up if you've never heard it, look up Richard Pryor on Leon Spinks, the former heavyweight champion. One of the funniest freaking bits you'll ever hear. I'm just glad he didn't do Pryor or Carlin.
No, yeah, that'd be tough.
Oh my God.
Next time, Paul.
You know what? I don't even know if I could. I mean, maybe
you could.
I probably could. I'd pick Carlin just because he was such a wordsmith.
Yeah.
I think Pryor was funnier. I don't think Carlin was funny. I think Pryor was funnier than Carlin.
But they were different. They were different comedians.
Different comedians.
Just different style.
Yeah.
But
Carlin's wordplay was just.
It's fantastic.
There was no better wordsmith in the entire world.
It's fantastic.
Maybe Mark Twain or something. You know what I mean?
All right. Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia or Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn?
Wow. Crush on one as a kid and appreciation of another as an adult. So,
Princess Leia for me.
Yeah, I gotta go. That was one of my first crushes. So I gotta go Carrie Fisher. Yeah.
All right. Harrison Ford or Clint Eastwood?
Oh, Harrison Ford, man.
Yeah. Tom Cruise or Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. All right. Now, films and TV. Okay. Blazing Saddle or Young Frankenstein?
Blazing Saddles all day.
A Young Frankenstein for me.
Yeah? That's a great move. Well, again, there's no bad answer.
There's no wrong answer. Three Amigos or This is Spinal Tap?
Oh, damn.
Oh. I agree with Paul on this one. I think you got to go Three Amigos.
I don't know, man. Spinal Tap is genius, and it was the
really
first
good.
movie that ever did what they do. Oh my gosh, that's tough. That's I'll just go. Three Amigos was the first one that popped into my head.
Yeah.
Just because, My Little Buttercup. That's so funny. Yeah. I'll go Three Amigos, but that one was really tough.
That's tough. All right. Platoon or Deer Hunter?
You know what? I'm not a huge fan of either of those, frankly.
Yeah.
I'm not, but Deer Hunter because De Niro.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Paul said Platoon on that one. Superman or Batman? Batman. He goes Superman.
Does he?
He goes Superman.
A lot of people like Superman.
Yeah.
Because he's the ultimate superhero, but that's why I don't care for him.
Untouchables or The Usual Suspects?
Untouchables. I just watched it the other day. It holds up, man.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yep.
Speaking again, De Niro.
Once Upon a Time in America or Scarface?
Scarface, man.
Yeah, he goes Once Upon a Time in America.
That's a great movie. It's a
great one.
That's a great movie. But no, Scarface, I mean, that's just again completely different and completely unique to its own and perfectly portrayed by Al Pacino.
Yep. Cheers or Frasier?
Oh, Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah. He goes Frasier on that too.
Well, Paul's smarter than we are.
That is true.
Frasier's a lot more cerebral of a show.
That's true.
I don't like cerebral comedies as much.
Yep.
I like British comedies, speaking of Paul, but I don't like, I don't care for like Frasier. I'm not a big Seinfeld guy. I didn't like any of those like heady things. I like goofy shit. That's why I like British comedy, because I love like Monty Python. Yeah. Because it's smart, but it's goofy as hell at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, and he says in pointless trivia in Spinal Tap, Harry Shearer wears a blue and gold striped Shrewsbury Town soccer jersey. Shrewsbury is the county town capital, if you will, of Shropshire.
No way!
There you
How
go.
fun is that?
There
I
you
totally
go.
know what jersey you're talking about.
There you go. All right.
Is that it?
Stay safe, our family. Love your Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five time, times 2 plus 1.
Oh, that's right.
Winner, Winner of the Raiders fan. Okay, five time times 2 plus 1. Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award. There you go. There you go. Wow. That was fun. That was fun.
We got to go. We got to get on a call with Joel that we're late to.
Oh, we sure are.
Yeah, we sure are. So appreciate you, Raider Nation. We love you guys so very, very much. Let us know all your answers in the chat, but even in the comments. If you could do us a favor while you're here, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment in there. Let us know what you like about the show. Let us know what you don't like about the show. Just give us your feedback. This thing is all conversational when it's at its best, and we want to know what your guys' thoughts, what your opinions, what your this or that's, all that good stuff. Let us know, because we always love to go back and read through those. So thanks again for joining us. We'll be back here again on Wednesday for a live show. We're going to be giving away a Davante Adams jersey. With all money, period. Yep. Going to support the One Nation Foundation, which is our nonprofit that we are looking to raise at least $12,000 for the Blitnikoff Foundation, but our goal is 15 grand. We don't want to lose sight of that 15 grand, but we'll be proud to represent whatever that giving has been. And thank you guys for trusting us with it. And we appreciate you taking the time to invest your hard-earned money. If you do want to get in on the jersey that we're giving away, the reason that supports the foundation is that we do a drawing, basically like a raffle, for that jersey. Swaggo, you want to let them know how they do all that stuff?
Yeah, you can, of course.
About the offline, too.
Absolutely, yeah. So, of course, every $10 super chat this coming Wednesday on the show will get you one poker chip or one entry into the raffle to win that guy. But then also, and not that we have preferred ways of getting, money for the foundation, but if you'd like to get in the mix before the show, if you want to get some of those first poker chips of the night, go to onenationfoundation.net. You're going to go to the donate. You're going to hit that. It's going to take you to our PayPal. And if you want to, in the message, put for Davante Adams jersey, whatever, every $10 that you do for that gets you those amount of poker chips. But it also, we get to keep all of that money. So YouTube, Google, they get their 30%, they get their cut. So essentially, for every $100 that someone donates on the YouTube, we get $70 of that. So, but if you do it on onenationfoundation.net, we get all 100. So that's, I guess you could say, our preferred method of getting that, because we get to keep all of it. It's just extra money for the Blitnikoffs, for folks like Raider Dad, stuff like that. But however you want to do it, every $10 donation that you do gets you one poker chip into the running to win it. So we will definitely see you on Wednesday for that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Appreciate your Raider Nation. We love you guys. And hey, even if you can't contribute monetarily, just please tell your Raider friends about us. Because that generates advertising opportunities, and we give all that money to the charity. So tell your friends, hit a like, hit a subscribe, leave us a review on the iTunes.
Yep.
We ain't got any reviews on the iTunes lately.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we need to. So if you do us a favor, head over to the. Well, I guess it's Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, yeah.
Head over to the Apple Podcast and hit that subscribe button there. Just search for Raiders Fan Radio and leave us a little bit of a review on there if you don't mind, please.
There you go.
Just hit the 5 stars.
That's it, man.
Hit the 5 stars. It's a charity, man.
That's it.
What do you got against charities?
Yeah, well, yeah, what's your problem, man? What's your problem?
Like
Okay.
that.
Say bye.
See ya.
What's wrong with you guys?